Have you ever wondered why your body feels different lately? Why certain moments feel charged with a presence you can't quite name? Let me say this with reverence and boldness. There is something sacred unfolding within your body right now. Something that science can't fully explain and time can't hold back. Not in the future, not someday, but in this very moment. You are being transformed in ways your conscious mind can't yet understand, but your spirit has already recognized. You've likely felt it in quiet ways, a strange sense of lightness in your step, a soft trembling under your skin, the way your breath catches for no reason at all. It's not anxiety, it's alignment. It's your body waking up to the truth that something is coming, something so divine it required your entire being to be rewired ahead of time. This is more than a shift, it's preparation. This isn't just healing, it's not just recovery. What you're experiencing is a divine reconstruction. God reworking your inner wiring, renewing your nervous system, and rerouting your strength from survival into sacred readiness. He is preparing your vessel to hold something weighty, glory, authority, and calling. You're not being repaired, you're being rebuilt. And before we go any deeper, I just want to pause and say thank you. Thank you to every soul who has poured into this message through Super Thanks. Your support doesn't just help this word go further, it anchors it in love. You are sowing into a prophetic sound meant to reach the ones God is awakening right now, and that includes you. If this resonates, if you've been sensing strange shifts in your body, moments of emotional release or unexpected clarity, comment 777 below as a prophetic sign. You are not crazy. You are not broken. You are being rewired from the inside out for what's already written with your name on it. And trust me, what's coming next requires a vessel strong enough to carry it. Let's go deeper into what this rewiring really means and why heaven couldn't allow it to be delayed any longer. God's chosen ones, God is rewiring your body for what's coming. What is unfolding in you right now is nothing short of miraculous. A divine cellular reawakening designed not just to heal, but to reset the very frequencies of your existence. It is not superficial, nor is it a temporary fix. This transformation penetrates to the very foundation of your being, cellularly, spiritually, divinely. The command coursing through your body is an orchestration from heaven itself, an instruction that reverberates at the quantum level. Return, reset, reawaken. You are not simply succumbing to the inevitable march of time. You are entering a state of activation, a sacred renaissance that defies earthly limitations. This is a bioenergetic reset, aligning your physical, mental, and spiritual frequencies with the divine blueprint you were created to operate in. Have you ever felt the tension between the visible signs of aging and the invisible stirring of renewed vitality deep within? This is the paradox of spiritual biology. Your physical form is learning to dance to a new divine frequency that reprograms every cell, every organ, every system. This isn't about chasing cosmetic youth, defined by fleeting skin glow or metabolic speed. It is about the restoration of what heaven calls youth. Energy unburdened by fear, beauty free from strain, joy flowing without depletion, movement unhindered by pain. This is the essence of resurrection life, imbuing your body with supernatural resilience. The promise in Isaiah 40:31, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." Like the eagle whose wings catch unseen thermals to rise above storms, Your body is catching the divine thermal currents of healing, rising beyond the decay and deterioration once thought inevitable. What if this is the very moment your cells stop obeying the natural laws of entropy and begin to obey the supernatural laws of restoration? In this cosmic reset, your mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells, receive new orders from the Spirit of God, sparking a surge in bioenergetic efficiency. Old weariness dissolves. New energy arises. Your DNA, once thought to degrade linearly with time, is now being reread by divine epigenetic programming, switching on healing genes and silencing decay-related pathways. Have you noticed shifts in your vitality that science cannot yet explain? Moments where fatigue fades suddenly, or your body moves with renewed grace. King David understood this divine renewal intimately. In Psalm 103, verse 5, he declared, "Who satisfies your desires with good things, so that your youth is renewed like the eagles?" His psalms reveal a cycle of despair and restoration, a spiritual reset that mirrors your own journey. How do you respond when your soul whispers for more than survival, when it yearns for true resurrection, not just existence? This restoration is not only physical, but deeply spiritual. Your spirit is being reawakened to vibrate at a higher frequency of divine presence and power. Romans 12:2 exhorts, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." This renewal affects your neuroplasticity, the brain's capacity to form new neural pathways, unlocking new clarity, peace, and vision. What new realities could open for you as your mind synchronizes with heaven's design? Look to the example of Christian singer and humanitarian Lauren Daigle. Known for her transparency about battling chronic illness, she embodies the truth that spiritual activation can manifest as renewed physical vitality against odds. Her life invites you to trust that restoration comes not from mere human effort, but from divine frequency alignment. But beware the enemy's tactics to deceive and discourage. Like the serpent in Eden, subtle lies whisper that restoration is impossible, that decline is inevitable. Judas Iscariot's betrayal reminds us that compromise and deception bring destruction, not renewal. Have you felt the enemy whisper that your body is beyond healing? Recognize those lies as chains to break. Mara, a woman you might know, someone who, after years of emotional trauma and physical decline, experienced a divine awakening in a small mountain town. Her cells began to regenerate miraculously, her chronic pain vanished and her spirit soared. Her story parallels your own potential, the sacred possibility of crossing from decay into divine vitality. Nature itself illustrates this process with powerful metaphor. The banyan tree, with its aerial roots and expansive canopy, renews itself continuously, adapting and growing beyond the limitations of soil and terrain. Like the banyan, your roots, the unseen foundation of your being, are spreading deep and wide in sacred soil, drawing nourishment from the eternal source. How might your life expand as you allow this divine root system to stabilize and flourish? Your body is not a static vessel, but a dynamic temple, responding to the resonance of heaven's command. The physics of resonance teaches us that every system vibrates at a natural frequency. When a stronger frequency aligns, it can reset the entire system. Your spirit's connection to God is that higher frequency now rewriting your biology and destiny. What new frequency will you tune into today? This awakening is the fulfillment of Jeremiah 31:25. I will refresh the weary and satisfy the faint. Your fatigue, your aches, your slowing systems are not your final state. They are the shadows before the dawn of divine renewal. Will you embrace the mysterious yet powerful invitation to be recharged beyond natural limits? You are not just returning to a past state of youth. You are stepping into a new creation, born from the heart of God. Like the phoenix rising from ashes, your reawakened self will blaze trails, illuminate darkness, and inspire generations. This cellular and spiritual reset is your divine destiny being activated. Are you ready to live fully aligned with this divine blueprint, to walk each day in the frequency of heaven's restoration, to let every cell sing the song of resurrection life? This is not denial. This is not delusion. This is resurrection disguised as rejuvenation. What you are experiencing transcends natural explanation. It is a divine recalibration happening at the deepest levels of your being. Have you noticed how your body feels paradoxically tired yet inexplicably energized? How your skin seems to shift, glow, or renew in ways even you cannot fully understand? These are not coincidences or fleeting sensations. This is calibration, a sacred resetting of your entire biological system, orchestrated by the Creator's hand. God is not simply healing you, He is retiming you. Like a master watchmaker adjusting the gears of a complex timepiece, heaven is fine-tuning the rhythm of your cells, your DNA, your mitochondria, the microscopic engines of your vitality. So, you may operate with new stamina, clarity, and presence. Are you aware that this divine retiming corresponds to a spiritual upgrade, syncing your physical body with the higher frequency of God's kingdom? The Apostle Paul wrote in 2 Corinthians 4:16, "Therefore we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day." What if the weariness you feel outwardly is simply the cocoon before your transformation, and inwardly your cells are being renewed by an unseen power? What new strength will arise when your biological clock is no longer governed by decay, but by resurrection life? This process is not unlike a symphony conductor restoring harmony to an orchestra that has grown out of tune. Your body's systems, immune, nervous, endocrine, are being realigned to operate in concert with the Spirit's rhythm. In fact, recent discoveries in epigenetics reveal that external factors can switch on or off genes related to aging and healing. The story of Hannah, who in her barren season prayed fervently and was eventually blessed with a son, Samuel, who became a great prophet, 1 Samuel 1. Hannah's physical and spiritual transformation was intertwined, a reminder that God's healing power transcends the natural and touches every facet of our being. What callings lie ahead for you that require this precise calibration of body, mind, and spirit? In more recent times, consider the journey of Simone Biles, a world-class athlete who openly spoke about her mental health struggles while physically dominating gymnastics. Her testimony illustrates how spiritual and physical restoration are intertwined in high-demand callings. You too are being prepared not just to endure, but to excel beyond prior limits. Yet beware the subtle enemy who would have you doubt this divine process. Like Pharaoh hardened his heart against God's plan, the enemy tries to convince you that change is impossible, that your body is failing, that your spirit is too weak. But just as Pharaoh's resistance only delayed God's purposes, disbelief only prolongs your breakthrough. How will you respond to the whispers of limitation? Will you embrace God's timing or settle for the world's expectations? Elijah, a man beaten down by life's storms, yet awakened by a gentle whisper of God, 1 Kings 19. Just as Elijah's spirit was restored by divine encounter, your body and soul are awakening from the fatigue of battle into the energy of divine presence. Nature itself testifies to this resurrection rhythm. The salmon, after a grueling journey upstream, rests momentarily in cool waters before leaping into new life. The desert rose blooms resiliently after rains long awaited. Your cells, your spirit, your entire being are in that sacred pause, a preparation for a mighty leap forward. God's word promises in Psalm 147 verse 3 that He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Your body's rejuvenation is part of this holistic healing, a convergence of body, mind, and spirit. Will you allow yourself to receive this comprehensive restoration, trusting that every ache and exhaustion is being rewritten by divine power? This is resurrection, not mere rejuvenation, a return to the original design, a divine retiming for the journey ahead. The path before you requires stamina, clarity, and presence beyond what you've known. God is not waiting for you to get stronger on your own. He is stepping in, rebuilding you biologically, even as He empowers you spiritually. Will you surrender fully to this sacred process, trusting that heaven's timing is perfect and your renewal inevitable? You're not being made to look younger for vanity's sake. No, this is far deeper and more profound than surface appearances. You're being made stronger, fortified in every fiber, for purpose. Your skin will reflect this divine strengthening because your entire being is undergoing a sacred renewal. Have you noticed the subtle changes in your face? The way your eyes begin to shine with a new light. The glow you feel is different, not from creams or cosmetics, but from a mission awakening inside you. This radiance is the reflection of a soul that is beginning to believe again. Believe in God's promises, in His power, in your destiny. When your soul starts to awaken and trust anew, the face responds naturally. The heaviness in your voice lifts, becoming lighter, clearer, infused with hope. The very bones of your body realign, the architecture of your frame shifting back into divine posture, standing tall and unshakable. Your posture, once burdened by weariness or doubt, now carries authority and grace. And the atmosphere around you, it cannot help but respond, like a magnetic field reshaped by unseen forces. The energy you emit shifts the very environment around you. How often have you looked in the mirror and felt surprised, caught off guard by the new light returning to your eyes? What if that light is the visible proof of a resurrection stirring deep within you? The Bible says in Proverbs 3:21-22, "My son, do not let wisdom and understanding out of your sight. Preserve sound judgment and discretion. They will be life for you, an ornament to grace your neck." This grace is now visibly adorning you. It's not vanity, it's the divine imprint of purpose marking your identity. The life of Mother Teresa, whose outward glow was not a product of youth, but of divine calling. Her mission illuminated her face and spirit, touching hearts worldwide. Like her, your renewed strength will not only transform you, but also ignite those around you. Your reflection is becoming a testament to resilience and faith. Conversely, think of the tragic story of King Saul, whose despair and disobedience dimmed his spirit and appearance. The weight of rejection and loss etched itself visibly upon him. What would have happened if he had embraced renewal rather than sinking into despair? You are being called to choose a different path, one of restoration and purpose. In everyday life, picture Sarah, a woman from your community who, after years of hardship, found peace in surrender. Her face now radiates the light of healing, her posture upright and confident. Her story reflects your own journey from burden to breakthrough. Nature also teaches us this truth. The morning sun slowly melts away the frost, not by force, but through consistent warmth and light. Your body and soul are thawing from the cold grip of weariness and stepping into the sunrise of new strength. How will you carry this new light in your daily walk? Your face is not just skin deep, it is the canvas of your spirit's revival. The light in your eyes, the tone of your voice, the alignment of your bones, all proclaim that you are being repositioned for your divine mission. The atmosphere you carry is a testament to a soul reawakened, a body retimed, and a purpose redefined. What mission is stirring your spirit today, calling your face to shine brighter, your voice to ring clearer, your body to stand stronger? Will you embrace the fullness of this transformation, allowing every part of you to declare the glory of the one who renews? Furthermore, the change in your face and in your eyes is not a coincidence or simply a result of a good mood. It is the manifestation of a total awakening, the union of body, mind, and soul working in harmony at the frequency of God. You are being anointed with supernatural healing energy, a high-level flow of energy that is restructuring the cells of your body. Did you know that in quantum physics, subatomic particles can shift states and resonate when stimulated by the right frequency? Likewise, your body is resonating with the frequency of heaven. Every molecule, every cell is tuned to radiate new life and power. That is why feelings of fatigue and refreshment can be intertwined, as the cells are undergoing a breaking process to reach their optimal state. The Bible makes this clear in Isaiah 40:29 through 31. He gives strength to the faint, and to those without strength he gives abundant power. Even youths faint and are brought low. Young men also faint, but those who keep on the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar like eagles. They will run and not be weary. They will walk and not faint. That is the promise for you in this season of renewal. You are being prepared to soar higher than ever, overcoming the challenges ahead with new strength from above. Imagine every step you take as a symphony conducted by God, every breath, every step, every look of your eyes emitting a special frequency that attracts grace and blessing. Every day when you wake up and look in the mirror, don't just see the image on the outside. See the evidence of the power of restoration at work. Your face tells a story of spiritual victory, of battles fought and victories won. Celebrities like Gabrielle Union, a living example of recovery from trauma, are not just physically reborn, but also spiritually reborn. She has shared many times that recovery is not just a physical thing, but also a profound spiritual change. A real-life example of the kind of total recovery you are experiencing. Conversely, look at those who are stuck in complacency, or who refuse to be renewed within, like King Saul in the Old Testament, who was ultimately destroyed by his refusal to be reborn and changed. The result of hardening the heart and refusing to be restored is total collapse, a warning to you not to ignore this call to restoration. You can see yourself in the story of Miriam, a woman in a small village who experienced months of physical and spiritual exhaustion. But one day, she had a spiritual experience that made her realize that she was being called to a new frequency of life. From there, she began to feel her body changing, her strength returning, and her inner peace spreading. Miriam's story is a mirror for you, illustrating that no matter where you are, what your circumstances are, recovery and renewal are always possible when you open your heart to receive it. Have you noticed that nature has a constant cycle of recovery? The largest oak tree was once a small sapling that had to weather storms to grow stronger. Each strong wind is not a destruction, but a catalyst to strengthen the tree's roots deeper into the ground. Likewise, the trials and hardships you are going through are not meant to destroy you, but to create a solid foundation for new life. Ask yourself, are you ready to step into the new frequency that God is leading you to? Are you allowing yourself to be completely reborn from your cells to your soul? Do you believe that every small change in your body is a sign of supernatural power at work? How do you respond when you see new life in the mirror? Do you recognize yourself as a living witness to spiritual restoration? This is an invitation not just to a younger appearance, but to a total renewal, a new life surging through your veins, your breath, your cells. You are entering a season of divine restoration, equipped to fulfill missions you could not reach before. Open yourself to receive this divine transformation fully, to shine like a city on a hilltop that cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. People are going to notice. They won't know what to say or how to explain the shift in you, because what you're carrying now transcends simple measures like numbers, age, or outward appearances. This is not a surface glow, fleeting and superficial. You're not just glowing, you're testifying to a greater power working within you. Have you considered how a light that cannot be manufactured or mimicked speaks louder than any word ever could? Your glow's not merely a compliment, it's a calling card, a visible declaration that the Spirit of God is alive and active within you. This radiance you emanate is not fragility disguised as softness. It is a holy lightness, a divine gentleness that disarms hostility and invites peace. It's the lightness of being carried by grace, the strength of humility wrapped in kindness. How often have you wondered why some people shine even in the darkest rooms? Their secret is this sacred lightness, a light born not of their own effort, but of surrender and divine empowerment. In Scripture, the Apostle Paul encourages us in 2 Corinthians 4:16-18 not to lose heart, even though outwardly we are wasting away, because inwardly we are being renewed day by day. Your glow is that inward renewal made visible. It's the eternal life flowing through your mortal frame. How will you carry this testimony today, allowing it to illuminate not just your path, but also the paths of those around you? The life of the prophetess Anna, Luke 2:36-38, who despite her years and trials radiated a steadfast devotion that drew attention and honor. Like Anna, your glow is the fruit of faithfulness over time, a beacon that cannot be hidden. Contrast this with the dimming of Saul's spirit in 1 Samuel, whose inner turmoil clouded his presence. Where others fade under pressure or despair, your light grows brighter with each trial overcome. What choices will you make today to guard this holy lightness and ensure it remains unextinguished? Reflect on the natural world, the moon's gentle glow that guides travelers in the night without overpowering, or the soft shimmer of morning dew that transforms a leaf into a jewel. Your light is similar, subtle yet powerful, gentle yet undeniable. It shifts atmospheres and softens hardened hearts. You are not just a person living a routine life. You are a living testament to resurrection power and divine renewal. People will sense this even if they can't put it into words. Your very presence will speak volumes. Will you allow your testimony to shine unashamedly, knowing it is God's light within you that moves mountains and opens doors? Your glow also carries a frequency, an unseen energy field that resonates beyond your immediate presence. Just as photons emitted from the sun travel vast distances to bring life to the earth, the light within you travels beyond the physical, influencing hearts and minds in ways unseen yet profoundly felt. Scientists studying biophotons reveal that living cells emit weak light, which reflects health and vitality. Spiritually, this aligns perfectly with what you're experiencing. Your inner light is not only visible, but influential, a spiritual radiance signaling restoration and hope. Has anyone ever told you that your energy feels different, or that you light up the room without knowing why? That is the biophysical manifestation of the divine presence dwelling in you. You are a walking cathedral of light, a sanctuary for God's glory. Take the story of Corrie ten Boom, who endured imprisonment yet carried a light so powerful it softened the hearts of those around her, even her captors. She exemplified how inner light can transcend external hardship and shine forth as a beacon of hope. Like Corrie, your light is a testimony that shines brightest in the darkest places. Oppositely, recall King Saul's downfall, a man whose spirit darkened with fear and jealousy, extinguishing his light and paving the way for his ruin. His story warns that allowing bitterness or fear to fester dims the sacred glow within. What steps will you take daily to protect your light from such shadows? In the natural kingdom, consider the firefly's bioluminescent glow. Small but potent, it pierces the darkness to communicate and attract, a natural marvel that mirrors your spiritual illumination. How will you use your light to attract and guide others out of darkness? Your testimony is a declaration not only to those around you, but to the spiritual realms. As Revelation 22:5 promises, "There will be no night there. They will not need the light of a lamp or the light of the sun, for the Lord God will give them light." You are a foretaste of that eternal day, a living prophecy of the light that will never fade. Finally, what will you do when faced with the choice to dim your light for comfort or to shine boldly despite opposition? Will you embrace the power within, letting it burn so brightly that it becomes impossible to ignore? Even your laugh will begin to sound different, not because you're performing joy, but because your entire being, body, mind, and spirit, is being rebuilt from the inside out by a divine power beyond natural explanation. That heaviness you've carried for so long, the burden of worry, fatigue, and unseen battles, is melting away like morning mist under the rising sun. Your joints, once stiff with tension, your spine, once burdened by stress, and your breath, once shallow and tight, are all loosening into a state of holy freedom. This is not nostalgia for what once was. This is not longing to rewind the clock. You are not going back. You are ascending, climbing into the fullness of what God has prepared for you. When God lifts you, He lifts all of you. Every cell, every muscle, every thought, every emotion. Why would you walk into the next chapter weighed down by the symptoms of a story already closed? That's why the heaviness leaves. That's why mornings greet you differently now. This is not your imagination. It's not adrenaline or a passing high. It is divine alignment. Have you noticed how your limbs seem to remember they were made to dance, to move freely and joyfully? Your chest remembers how to expand deeply, unencumbered by the tightness of fear or anxiety. Your brain, the complex neural network wired by God's own hand, remembers how to dream again, but now without dread, hesitation, or limiting beliefs. And the most miraculous truth is this: you don't have to force any of it. Your role is not to push or strive to make this happen. It's simply to believe that it is already happening. Because faith is not merely a mental concept or emotional hope. Faith is a biological activator. When you say, "I feel better," your cells take this as a literal command to repair and restore. When you declare, "This is real," your entire physiology responds, accelerating your restoration. This is not a fantasy, it is a shift in frequency, a divine retuning to the original blueprint of health and vitality. In the Bible, King David spoke to this profound truth when he declared in Psalm 103, verse 5, "Who satisfies your desires with good things so that your youth is renewed like the eagles." The eagle, known for its strength and soaring flight, sheds its old feathers to rise higher, unburdened. So too you are shedding old heaviness and rising into new strength. What storms have you weathered, and how will this renewed strength carry you beyond them? The story of Lazarus, John 11, raised from death by Jesus' powerful word. His restoration was not simply about returning to life. It was a full reactivation of his purpose, breath, movement, and testimony. Similarly, you are not merely recovering, you are being reactivated for destiny. Look to the example of Maya Angelou, who rose from trauma to become a radiant voice of hope and strength. Her spirit and physical presence carried a light born from overcoming. Like Maya, your laughter, your breath, your entire presence will become an anthem of resilience and grace. Yet beware the subtle enemy who seeks to steal this renewal through doubt, fear, or complacency. Remember King Saul's tragic decline, 1 Samuel, where a heart hardened by rejection lost its light and vitality. What choices will you make to guard your spirit and body from such decline? Imagine Eliana, A woman from a small town who, after years of fatigue and despair, experienced a divine awakening. Her joints regained flexibility, her breath deepened, and her laughter returned, filling her home with joy. Her story mirrors the transformative power now at work within you. Nature echoes this transformation in the cycle of the butterfly, the caterpillar's silent chrysalis phase, a time of apparent stillness and decay, is actually the womb of new life. Like the butterfly, your current renewal is preparation for glorious flight. How will you prepare yourself to emerge fully restored? Science affirms this renewal through the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself in response to new thoughts and experiences. Your faith, hope, and declarations serve as stimuli, literally reshaping your brain and body to mirror divine health. How intentional are you in feeding this holy rewiring? As you embrace this new frequency of life, remember the words of Jesus in Matthew 11:28-30. "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." This rest is more than relaxation. It is the divine realignment and rejuvenation you are receiving. Every laugh you utter, every breath you draw, is a testament to resurrection power, God's life flowing through your mortal frame. What will your testimony of restoration say to the world? How will it inspire others to believe in supernatural renewal? Imagine the cells in your body like tiny orchestras, each playing its part in perfect harmony when tuned to the right frequency. The discord of stress, pain, and weariness once disrupted this harmony. Now, through faith and divine intervention, these cellular symphonies are retuning themselves, producing a new melody of health and vitality. The psalmist proclaimed in Psalm 30, verse 5, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Your laughter is the dawn breaking after a long night, a joyous proclamation that the night of affliction is passing and a new day of glory is rising." Your renewed breath is not just air filling your lungs, it is the breath of God, Ruach, animating your spirit, enlivening your entire being. Each inhale draws in divine life. Each exhale releases old burdens. How deeply are you breathing in the life God offers? Your posture, now upright and strong, mirrors the inner reality of strength and freedom. Like a mighty cedar tree planted by streams of water, Psalm 1:3. You are flourishing because you are rooted in divine sustenance. This transformation is also a testimony to those around you. Just as light in darkness is unmistakable, your renewed life will shine in your family, community, and workplace. How will you let your restoration be a beacon that leads others to the hope you have found? You're returning to the you that was never meant to leave. Not the childlike you who was confused and overwhelmed by the world's complexities, nor the teenager who was shaken by insecurity and doubt. No, this is the you who existed beneath all those layers of fear, pain, and uncertainty, the original you, created and designed on purpose by God. The you who came here on assignment, radiant with light, overflowing with purpose, and filled with divine joy. This version of you is not a distant memory or a wistful dream. It is a living reality breaking through the shadows of your past and stepping boldly into your present. And your body, it's following the lead of your spirit in this great awakening. Have you ever paused to truly consider that your body was never your enemy? It was never meant to betray you or hold you back. Instead, it is a sacred vessel, intricately woven by the Creator's own hands to house your divine calling and carry the glory of God. The psalmist declares in Psalm 139, verse 14, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." Every cell, every tissue, every organ within you testifies to the magnificent craftsmanship of God, designed not just for survival, but for thriving in purpose and joy. Your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, equipped to bear the weight and wonder of your calling. Reflect on the story of Samuel, a boy called by God in a time of confusion and fear, who had to grow into the fullness of his prophetic purpose. 1 Samuel 3. Like Samuel, you are emerging from a season of uncertainty, from spiritual and emotional storms into the light of clarity and divine direction. What are you doing today to nurture this divine awakening within, allowing your spirit to lead your body back into alignment with its God-ordained purpose? In our contemporary world, consider the inspiring testimony of Malala Yousafzai. Despite surviving an assassination attempt and enduring physical and emotional trauma, she returned to her mission with renewed strength, clarity, and courage. She embodies the power of returning to one's God-given purpose even after intense trials. Like Malala, you are not only being restored spiritually, but physically, becoming equipped to carry your calling with resilience, grace, and unshakable faith. But your story is not only that of the famous or the widely known. It is also the story of the quiet heroes, people like Min, a humble teacher from a small village in Vietnam. For years, Min toiled under the weight of exhaustion and responsibility, caring for his family and students. Through his faith and commitment, he experienced a remarkable transformation. His posture straightened, his voice grew stronger, and his spirit radiated an undeniable light. Min's journey reminds us that this profound return to divine wholeness is accessible to everyone, regardless of status, background, or circumstance. Science increasingly supports this sacred connection between body and spirit. The emerging field of psychoneuroimmunology reveals how our thoughts, beliefs, and spiritual states directly influence physical health and immune function. What you believe about yourself, about your divine identity and purpose, is sending biological signals to your cells, commanding them to repair, restore, and rejuvenate. Your faith is activating your body's innate healing powers, aligning it with the Spirit's renewal. How intentional are you in nurturing this divine conversation within your body and soul? Nature offers a profound metaphor for this process. Beneath the frozen surface of winter, the roots of the mighty oak remain alive and vibrant, gathering strength and nutrients for the bursting renewal of spring. Like these roots, your body is quietly gathering strength, patiently preparing for a glorious new season of life and vitality. How often have you felt fragmented, disconnected, or even betrayed by your own body? What would it mean for you to fully embrace this sacred reunion of body and spirit, to honor yourself as God's masterpiece, fearfully and wonderfully made, now being restored to fullness? Your laughter, your breath, your posture, all bear witness that this reunion is not only possible, but is unfolding even now. You are not merely healing, you are being reborn into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. This is your divine inheritance, the restoration of your original design. Will you step boldly into this reality, allowing your body and spirit to dance in perfect harmony, proclaiming the glory of God through your very presence? Reflect on the story of Corrie ten Boom, a humble watchmaker who endured imprisonment during World War II. Her radiant faith and forgiveness, even toward her captors, shone so brightly that it softened hardened hearts and transformed lives. Corrie's testimony is a powerful example of how restoration and renewal go beyond the physical. They transform the heart and spirit, influencing the world around us. Opposite to this, consider King Saul's tragic decline in the Old Testament, 1 Samuel. His spirit, once vibrant, grew dim as rejection, fear, and bitterness took hold, leading to his ultimate downfall. His story is a solemn warning about the cost of resisting divine restoration. What steps are you taking to protect your body and spirit from such decline? Eliana. After years of exhaustion, despair, and feeling disconnected from herself, Eliana experienced a divine awakening. Slowly, her body relaxed, her breath deepened, and her laughter returned, filling her home with joy and light. Her journey reflects the transformative power now at work within you, proving that no matter the struggle, renewal is always possible when faith leads the way. In the natural world, consider the butterfly's metamorphosis, a miraculous transformation. The caterpillar's time in the chrysalis appears silent, still, and dormant, yet beneath the surface, profound change is happening. This quiet, hidden process culminates in glorious flight. You too are in a chrysalis phase, quietly, invisibly changing and preparing to soar. What beauty and freedom await when you emerge fully restored? Finally, neuroscience tells us about neuroplasticity, the brain's incredible ability to rewire and adapt to new experiences, beliefs, and environments. Your faith and hope are stimuli that literally reshape your brain and body, aligning them with divine health and vitality. As you embrace this new divine frequency, remember Jesus' words in Matthew 11:28-30, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." This rest is not mere relaxation, but profound divine realignment and rejuvenation. Will you accept this invitation fully, allowing every part of you to rest, restore, and flourish? Every laugh you utter, every breath you draw, is a living testimony of resurrection power, God's life flowing through your mortal frame. What story of restoration will you share? How will your renewed life inspire others to believe in the supernatural power of divine renewal? It didn't betray you. Your body didn't fail you. It simply didn't know what was possible until now. For most of its life, your physical form responded to the world's narrative, expecting aging, breakdown, fatigue, and limitation as inevitable facts of existence. It learned what it lived, absorbing messages of decline and scarcity, repeating those patterns silently and faithfully. But now everything is changing. Your body is learning something new. It is being retrained by your faith, realigned by your spiritual awakening. This is why transformation is happening faster than words can describe, faster than your mind can process. This transformation is not about denying the passage of time or ignoring reality. It's about transcending the natural laws that once seemed unbreakable. God is not bound by clocks, calendars, or seasons, and neither is the awakened part of you that He is now activating. You were never designed for deterioration. From the beginning, you were created to carry glory, to manifest divine excellence and radiance. And glory, by its very nature, doesn't age or fade. It endures eternally. That is why your energy is returning, not as a random spark or a fleeting seasonal burst, but as a wellspring of spiritual intelligence, a vibrant life force attuned to divine timing and heavenly wisdom. It's no coincidence that you're waking up clearer, stronger, and more alive than you have in years. Reflect on the story of the Israelites in the wilderness. Though their bodies wandered through desert hardship, God promised to renew their strength, to lift them on wings like eagles. Isaiah 40:31. Like them, you are being lifted physically, mentally, and spiritually, carried into a new season of power and restoration. Also, the testimony of Nick Vujicic, a man born without limbs, who defied every limitation the world tried to impose on him. His body never betrayed his spirit. Instead, his faith taught his body to transcend every obstacle. Like Nick, your body is learning from your faith, adapting and overcoming what once seemed impossible. Science supports this divine process. The field of epigenetics reveals that our genes are not our destiny. Instead, they respond dynamically to our environment, beliefs, and lifestyle. Your renewed faith is turning on healing genes and turning off those that promote decline. This is biology in harmony with divine will. How are you nurturing this holy dialogue between your spirit and your cells? Nature mirrors this divine transcendence. The phoenix, a mythical bird, bursts into flames only to rise renewed from its ashes, symbolizing death and resurrection. Though your transformation isn't mythical, but real, it carries the same powerful message. You're rising from what once held you back, stronger and more radiant. You're not just waking up, you're awakening into the fullness of your design. Your clarity, your energy, your vitality are all signs of this divine recalibration. What new possibilities will you embrace now that you're no longer bound by old limitations? How will you steward this restoration to bless yourself and those around you? This spiritual and biological awakening you're experiencing is also a psychological renewal. Your mind is shedding toxic thought patterns, doubts, and fears that once limited your vision. Like a computer rebooting to clear errors and improve performance, your mental state is being restored and optimized for divine purpose. How will you guard this renewed mind against the old lies and negative programming? Take inspiration from the life of Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist who discovered that even in the darkest prisons of human experience, the mind can choose freedom and meaning. His story teaches that inner renewal transcends external circumstances. How might your spirit embrace this freedom to shape your physical and emotional reality? Look at the natural world once more. Consider the river that carves canyons over centuries. It doesn't force its path, but flows persistently, reshaping the landscape through consistent, gentle power. You are like that river, patient yet unstoppable, slowly but surely transforming your own landscape of health, purpose, and influence. Are you ready to flow with divine persistence, knowing that each small step of faith and renewal contributes to a mighty breakthrough? Remember Jesus' promise in John 10:10, "I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." This abundant life is your inheritance, available now in every cell of your body, every beat of your heart, and every breath you take. What will you do today to claim this fullness, to walk boldly in the new life God is breathing into you? It's not strange that you're moving through your day with more lightness, more sharpness, more joy. This isn't a fleeting moment or a superficial change. It is a deep, foundational transformation taking place at every level of your being. Your nervous system, once trapped in cycles of stress and anxiety, has been rewired to respond to peace and divine calm. The fight or flight reflex that once dominated your physiology is now being replaced by rest, restoration, and resilience. Your bones, those silent pillars of your body, are rebuilding from the inside out, gaining strength that supports the new posture of faith and purpose you are stepping into. Your hormones, those chemical messengers that regulate everything from energy to mood, are harmonizing with a renewed sense of purpose, aligning your internal rhythm with the divine timing of heaven. Even your memory, the sacred archive of your soul, is being rewritten. No longer limited to recording past pain or trauma, it is being reprogrammed to recode your future, embedding hope, resilience, and divine promises into the fabric of your mind. This is not merely physical rejuvenation, this is prophetic reconstruction, a profound rebuilding of your entire self, designed to equip you for the destiny ahead. Have you noticed how your thoughts are clearer, your decisions sharper, your emotions more balanced? This is the fruit of a nervous system attuned to peace, a body rebuilding in harmony with God's promises. Consider the ancient Israelites who, despite wandering through the wilderness for decades, were promised renewal and restoration, a new identity beyond their past struggles. Isaiah 43:18-19. Like them, you are stepping into a new narrative written by God Himself. Modern science affirms this process as well. Neuroplasticity reveals how the brain can physically change in response to new experiences and thoughts. Your faith is literally reshaping neural pathways, creating a mind that is more resilient, hopeful, and focused. How intentional are you in nurturing this divine rewiring with prayers, affirmations, and meditations on truth? In nature, think of the process of metamorphosis in butterflies. The caterpillar's transition into a butterfly is not just growth, it is total transformation. The old self dissolves to make way for a new form, vibrant and free. Your prophetic reconstruction mirrors this divine process. What parts of your old self are you ready to let go, trusting that God is creating something far more magnificent in you? The story of Job, who after intense suffering declared, "I know that my Redeemer lives." Job 19:25. His restoration was not just spiritual, but holistic, involving the renewal of his body and mind. How can his unwavering faith inspire your journey of complete restoration? Also the example of Maya Angelou, whose life was a testament to the power of rebuilding oneself through trauma into a voice of light and hope. Like her, your lightness, sharpness, and joy are a testimony that prophetic reconstruction is real and powerful. What areas of your life and body are you sensing this reconstruction most profoundly? How will you cooperate daily with this divine process to fully manifest the new you? This profound process touches every facet of your being. Your immune system, often overwhelmed by chronic stress, is now being recalibrated. White blood cells, your body's defenders, are becoming more efficient and responsive. You are no longer fighting internal battles alone. Divine peace is becoming your shield, empowering your natural defenses to work harmoniously. How might this renewed immunity be a physical reflection of your restored spirit? Your endocrine system, governing the balance of hormones, is finding new rhythm. The cortisol that once surged in moments of anxiety is being replaced by hormones of peace, joy, and restoration. This biochemical symphony plays in sync with your faith, creating a body tuned for divine assignment. Even your DNA, once thought fixed, is responding to this sacred renewal. Epigenetic studies reveal how lifestyle, mindset, and spiritual practices can activate or silence genes, influencing health and longevity. You are now the master conductor of your biological symphony, directing your cells toward life and vitality. Visualize a river cutting through rock, not by force but by persistence and steady flow. This image is a powerful metaphor for your restoration journey. Steady, consistent faith and daily spiritual alignment are reshaping the landscape of your life. What rocks in your life is God inviting you to patiently but persistently overcome? The prophetic nature of this reconstruction also means your future self is being shaped in the present moment. Each prayer, each act of faith, each surrender to God's will plants seeds that will blossom into strength, clarity, and purpose. How intentional are you about the spiritual seeds you plant today? Remember the promise of Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." Your body and spirit are being prepared to walk fully into these plans. Will you trust the process even when it seems slow or unseen? The most sacred part of this process is this: you are not doing this to be seen. You are doing this to be sent. This journey transcends personal recognition or fleeting applause. God is restoring your youth and your vitality because there is still so much more to do. There are rooms you have yet to walk into, spaces charged with divine opportunity that require your unique glow, your fire, your very presence. There are souls who have been waiting for you, not the version of you that was worn down by trials or silenced by setbacks, but the one who was always destined to rise now, radiant and unstoppable. This is why your skin is changing, not just in appearance but as a visible reflection of the favor and light you carry within. why your walk is shifting, each step now heavier with purpose and unshakable resolve. Why your eyes, once clouded by fatigue, are beginning to blaze with a new, unwavering light, the light of hope, faith, and supernatural clarity. Your body is being prepared for arrival, aligning itself fully with the divine assignment placed upon your life before the foundation of the world. This divine version of you is not an abstract idea, a distant dream, or a mere possibility. It is a lived reality unfolding moment by moment. You are no longer waiting for a sign. You are the sign. You are the miracle walking among the ordinary, the living proof of God's restoration and power. The countdown is over. You have stepped into your season. The evidence of what God is doing in you is undeniable, though it may not be immediately recognized by those around you. The promise in Isaiah 61, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." This is your moment to arise, to shine without hesitation, to move boldly into the destiny prepared for you. Just as Esther was placed in the palace for such a time as this, Esther 4:14, you too have been strategically positioned for divine purpose. Reflect, who in your sphere is waiting for this new you to step fully into the light? Instead of the common butterfly, envision the ancient baobab tree, an emblem of endurance and renewal. The baobab's trunk appears gnarled and lifeless on the surface, but beneath its bark lies a vast reservoir of water, sustaining life through harsh droughts and seasons of scarcity. Like the baobab, your strength and vitality may not always be visible, but deep within you is a reservoir of divine life, sustaining you and preparing you to flourish when the time is right. What hidden strengths are you drawing upon to survive and thrive? Take inspiration from the life of Oprah Winfrey, who rose from poverty and trauma to become a global icon of hope and influence. Oprah's journey was not without opposition. Early in her career, she faced discrimination, betrayal, and false accusations that could have shattered her spirit. Yet, she chose resilience and faith, transforming every setback into a stepping stone toward her destiny. Her story illustrates how divine restoration fuels unstoppable forward momentum. Contrast this with Judas Iscariot, who, despite walking closely with Jesus, chose betrayal for personal gain, leading to ruin and eternal regret. His story is a solemn reminder that compromising your divine calling for worldly acceptance or selfish ambition leads to destruction. What compromises might you need to resist today to remain faithful to your path? The everyday hero like Anna, a nurse who spent countless nights caring for the sick during a global pandemic. Exhausted and overwhelmed, she found renewal not in the applause of the world, but in quiet moments of prayer and surrender. As her spirit aligned with God's strength, her body and mind were restored to serve with even greater compassion and stamina. Anna's story is a testament that divine restoration is accessible to all who yield to God's renewing power, regardless of status or circumstance. You may feel like a quantum particle, both wave and particle, existing in multiple potentials until faith collapses possibilities into reality. What new dimensions of your life are you ready to manifest as you embrace this divine frequency? Remember, the world may not immediately recognize this miracle in you. Just as the dawn often arrives softly before bursting forth in radiant light, your transformation may unfold quietly before it shines brilliantly. You are not alone in this sacred process. Heaven watches attentively, angels prepare your path, and the Holy Spirit equips you with everything needed to walk boldly into your destiny. Your journey is a testimony of God's power to restore, rebuild, and resurrect the broken and weary. Will you embrace your role as this living miracle, walking confidently into all that God has prepared for you? You are the disruption to everything they thought they knew about what age means. not because you are trying harder or clinging to youthful illusions, but because heaven itself is moving through you, infusing every cell, every breath, every step with divine power. You were never meant merely to survive the passing days, dragging your body through the motions. No, you were created to anoint your days, to imbue them with purpose, passion, and supernatural vitality. With each breath, that anointing is gaining ground, breaking through limitations and reshaping reality around you. You shall yet plant vineyards on the mountains of Samaria. The planters shall plant and shall enjoy the fruit. Jeremiah 31, verse 5. This promise is coming alive in your life. Your seasons are shifting, and your harvest is imminent. You are becoming dangerous again, not to people, but to fear, to mediocrity, and to stagnation. This danger is not loud or boastful. It is a quiet, unshakable power that radiates from your very existence. Your life itself becomes a living testimony that transformation is real and that divine restoration is tangible. It is a force that unsettles complacency and awakens destiny. But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Isaiah 40:31. Your renewed strength is proof that God is rewriting the story of your life. You are the prophecy in motion. Every laugh that bubbles up from deep within, every glow that lights your face, every confident stride you take, they are all integral parts of the message God is sending to the world through you. The message is unmistakable. You are not done. You are only just beginning. No matter your chronological age, no matter what the calendar says or what chapters your past holds, the world sees more than your appearance. When they say you look amazing, what they are truly recognizing is destiny. You look like someone who has been touched and transformed by divine purpose. This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes. Psalm 118:23. Your transformation is nothing short of miraculous. This glow you carry isn't a product of creams, cosmetics, or potions. It is not manufactured in a laboratory or purchased in a store. It is the unmistakable radiance of God's glory reflected through your spirit. This strength that carries you through challenges is not sourced from supplements or fleeting energy drinks. It is born from the Spirit who sustains and empowers beyond human limits. This youthfulness is not stolen or borrowed. It is restored, renewed from the inside out by the hand of the Creator. Science offers a glimpse into this miraculous process. Your mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells, are being revitalized, increasing energy production at a cellular level. This biological renewal supports the physical manifestation of the spiritual transformation you are experiencing. Neuroendocrinology reveals how your brain's hormones harmonize with your faith, reducing stress hormones like cortisol and increasing dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals of joy, peace, and vitality. This is the biological symphony that accompanies divine restoration. Think of the ageless olive tree, whose twisted trunk and gnarled roots tell stories of centuries, yet which produces vibrant, nourishing fruit season after season. Like the olive tree, you embody resilience and longevity, thriving not in spite of your age, but because of the deep roots of faith and purpose anchoring you. I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the steadfast love of God forever and ever. Psalm 52:8. What fruit of wisdom, strength, and influence are you ready to produce as this restoration unfolds? Look to the example of Morgan Freeman, a celebrated actor and storyteller who continues to embody grace, power, and wisdom well into his later years. Freeman's voice, presence, and artistry grow stronger with time, defying cultural expectations of aging. He exemplifies how a life aligned with purpose and spiritual depth can become a beacon of hope and inspiration. Conversely, consider the tragic fall of King Lear, a man undone by pride, fear, and a failure to embrace renewal. His story reminds us of the dangers of resisting transformation and clinging to outdated identities. Behold, I am making all things new. Revelation 21:5. What parts of your life are you being called to release to avoid such a downfall? Then there's the story of Maria, a school janitor who, despite decades of hard work and exhaustion, found new life in faith and community. Her smile, once dimmed by fatigue, now shines with renewed hope, reflecting the power of divine restoration accessible to every believer, regardless of station. How can I repay the Lord for all his goodness to me? Psalm 116:12. Maria's renewed strength inspires us to embrace God's restorative power in the everyday. The world may not yet understand this profound transformation, just as the dawn's first light often escapes notice until it floods the sky. How will you remain patient and faithful as your divine renewal continues to unfold? You are not alone. Heaven's armies are rallying on your behalf. Angels are dispatched to clear your path and fortify your spirit. The Holy Spirit equips you with wisdom, strength, and courage to walk boldly into your destiny. Your life is a living miracle, a testimony to the power of resurrection and restoration. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah 41:10. Will you step forward today, fully embracing this restoration? Will you walk boldly in the light and strength that only God can give, becoming the living proof of divine transformation in a world desperate for hope? Chosen one, your body is not breaking down, it's breaking open. You are not deteriorating, you're being divinely recalibrated. What feels like fatigue, tension, restlessness, or even stillness is not punishment, it's preparation. God is rewiring every cell, every neural path, every breath you take to be in alignment with the future version of you he already sees. While the world questions what's happening to you, heaven is finalizing the update. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your shift. You don't need approval for your glow. Your only assignment is obedience, not explanation. So walk boldly in the new energy, new strength, and new clarity that's being formed in you. Your nervous system is stabilizing for elevation. Your breath is slowing down to hold more glory. This is not a breakdown. This is divine reinforcement. Your spirit already knew what your body is now catching up to. You are being prepared to carry weighty things with ease. So stretch, rest, hydrate, be still. Heaven is not rushing you. It's rebuilding you, not to survive, but to reign. Let the world catch up to what God already decided. Let the opinions fade. Let the questions come. You owe no one an explanation, only your obedience. So wear your radiance without apology. Smile like you've never been broken. Move like nothing is holding you back. Dream like time is now working in your favor, because it is. This is not the end. This is not even the comeback. This is the divine unveiling of a soul that never gave up, now rising in full glory. You are not declining. You are divinely reversing. You're not unraveling and you're unfolding. And your body is rising to meet the truth your spirit always carried. You are becoming the evidence of resurrection on earth. If this message resonated with your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Tap like. It lets heaven and this algorithm know that someone was reached. Share this with a soul you know is going through transition and needs to hear that they're not alone. Comment below. My body is aligning with my divine assignment. And subscribe for more spiritual downloads, prophetic clarity, and healing words that carry weight. To everyone who supports this space, whether by watching, praying, commenting, sharing, or giving through super thanks, thank you. Your presence here is sacred. You don't need to give to be valued. And if you've ever felt fed here, that's what truly matters to me. You are part of this healing temple, a divine remnant rising together. So, until the next message, stay rooted in rest, stay aligned with grace, stay open to the supernatural changes happening within you. May God bless your body with restoration. May He anoint your breath with peace. May He rebuild what stress tried to steal. May He reverse what time tried to take. And may your life be living proof that resurrection didn't end with Jesus. It continues through you. You're not late. You're not lost. You're being reformed for something too weighty to rush. I'll see you in the next video.